7.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to On the Money. I'm Kelly Evans in for Becky Quick. How companies are rewriting the rules for the way America works and why it might pay off for you. Saving for retirement, what the Trump years may mean for your plan. And if you think all the best deals are gone with the holidays, think again. Why January may be the best time of year to shop. And joining a gym doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg. The newest trends in fitness, plus taking the plunge. The Border Patrol is looking for a few good men and women. Our Kate Rogers found out just what it takes.
Yeah, give it to him. Give it to him. Harder, harder. Now throw him.
On the Money starts right now.
This is On the Money. Your money, your life, your future.
We begin with your job. 9 to 5, 8 to 6, and even commuting to the office are so yesterday. More and more companies are offering perks like flexible schedules and the ability to work from home in order to keep employees happy. Those new work perks are our cover story. 2017 may be the year of the worker. In order to attract employees, 80% of all companies now offer flexible work arrangements. Technology is helping that trend, allowing people to work remotely from almost anywhere. The most common options are telecommuting, working part-time, or flex time, which is the ability to set some of your work schedule. That flexibility is a boon for working parents. 56% say balancing work and family is a challenge, and 41% of working moms say being a parent has made it harder for them to advance their career. As the unemployment rate drops, companies often struggle to recruit, but offering workers flexibility can cost companies less than raises, increased benefits, or even salary. In fact, 58% of workers would give up $1 per hour to work from home, and 82% say they would give up $1 per hour to set their own hours. Real estate, HR, pharmaceuticals, and education are just some of the industries now offering flexible jobs, with more businesses to follow. By 2020, it's expected 50% of all U.S. employees will work remotely. Here to talk about the growing trend that's disrupting the traditional workforce is Sarah Sutton Fell, the founder and CEO of FlexJobs. It's an online job posting board for people seeking, yes, a flexible job. Sarah, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Flexibility can certainly benefit the employee, but what about the company? Why should they be doing this?
Companies should be looking at this for a lot of different reasons. There are many benefits, starting with costs, such as real estate and overhead, as well as recruiting, which you mentioned. But recruiting, you can access a whole new pool of candidates and also offer them one of the most desired benefits, work flexibility.
Who's looking for these jobs? Is it millennials? Is it young parents? Is it older workers as well?
The people looking for work flexibility are very broad and diverse. Certainly working moms are kind of the most visible, but it's a misconception that that's the only audience who are interested. We talked to both working moms and dads, as well as people with health issues or who are caretaking people with health issues, people who live in rural or locally depressed economies, military spouses, people who want to travel, freelancers, and certainly millennials.
That sounds like a huge huge section of people. Why has it taken so long for industries to evolve in this way? And why do you think there have been so many holdouts?
Well, I think that work flexibility is getting adopted by more and more companies. Some of the reasons are that there are more visibility with leaders such as Richard Branson. And as you said, 80% of companies are offering work flexibility.
Are there any downsides for people? This might sound like the greatest gig ever, but is the reality a little bit more difficult when you're trying to both work and be at home or care for somebody?
The downsides to work flexibility are minimal. I think that the biggest risk for employers is when they do it as a casual flex term, where they're not really implementing and formalizing the policy, and it can breed competition and kind of distrust amongst managers, other employees, jealousy, et cetera. I would also say the boundaries for the people who are doing work flexibility have to really be clear that it's matching up with they're paying attention to their lives and they're paying attention to their work and not letting them creep into each other. So I think those are big issues. And then communication's the last one. Really focus on proactive communication and good management practices.
That's true no matter what you're talking about, but especially in this case. And finally, does this convenience come at a price? Do you think people are going to have to maybe take that salary cut or forego some other benefits to get this one?
On average, we don't see any big difference between salary or benefits for flexible workers and on-site workers. Really, I think that we talk to job seekers regularly who have found jobs that pay both more and have better benefits in office. And you also consider people who live in rural economies or depressed economies and aren't able to find jobs.
Right. They might be able to find somebody in a better economy, and all of a sudden they can kind of work there instead of being stuck at home.
Absolutely. I think that one of the benefits for employers to hire flexible workers is also being able to broaden that candidate pool and find candidates who are in other locations, such as a New York company would have to pay a higher cost of living for the same role if they hire somebody in Kansas.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for both, and they're both able to have both the pay and the benefits that the benefit.
There's a big change underway. Sarah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Sarah Sutton-Fell. One job that may not have a whole lot of flexibility is on the border. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection has 1,700 open positions, and the agency is actively looking for new recruits. The job is demanding and dangerous. Our Kate Rogers spent a day at the Border Patrol Academy in Artesia, New Mexico, and found out firsthand about the rigorous training all new hires go through.
Think you've got what it takes to become a Border Patrol agent?
The brakes and all.
At the Border Patrol Academy, trainees are showing they're up for the challenge, focusing on the complexity and dangers of the job.
When they have to make split-second decisions to save their lives, to save someone else's life, or to save their partner's life, we want them to get it right.
Trainees learn law and how to process legal and undocumented border crossers. They practice arrest techniques and go through rigorous fitness training. They also learn Spanish to be fluent by the time they graduate and train for driving off-road to be ready for the southern border's harsh terrain.
Have a big pit down there.
They also get combat training.
Yep, extend the right hand to the neck. Yeah, give it to him. Give it to him. Harder, 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 harder. Now throw him. Now throw him.
And have to be ready to fight in the dark.
There it is. Now deliver. Good, good, good. Now throw him to your right. Throw him to your right. Step back. Excellent.
Water safety is also a must, including climbing Jacob's Ladder,
You can do it. You're right there.
dangling 25 feet in the air, and being ready to take the plunge.
Now, if you do make it past that 117-day training academy, you'll be stationed at one of the agency's 20 sectors nationwide, most likely along the southwest border. Starting pay for agents is around $50,000, and they do begin receiving that pay while they're still training at the academy. Back over to you.
All right, Kate, thank you. That was intense. Up next, we're on the money. What does the Trump administration mean for your retirement savings? We'll find out if you should change your money plan over the next 4 years. And later, just because the holiday season is over, it doesn't mean the deals are done. Where to find the biggest sales for January, and now a look at how the stock market ended the week.
I enlisted in the Army in 2005. I went to Iraq 3 times and Afghanistan once. She's the culprit that ripped our door off. 2,000-pound animal bumping into a steel door creates quite a bit of damage. I actually use the app, take pictures of it right there for USAA, and they take care of the rest. USAA is great about working with both active and separated military. I'm Josh Eilers, and I'm a USAA member for life.
Call USAA today to talk about your insurance needs. With class exclusive 4-corner air suspension for a smooth, controlled, level ride. And the class exclusive Ram Box cargo management system. Only Ram, America's longest lasting pickups, has the power to outlast the competition. And now during the Start Something New event, Ram is giving great deals.
To keep you better informed, we air more hours of local news per week than any other broadcaster. And with 255 journalism awards last year, we produce more quality news than anyone. Sinclair, stay tuned.
For months, the American media has been trying to make a Kremlin connection.
We point out things the American government would not like.
From Moscow, see how Russian media is portraying the American transition of power on the next Full Measure.
This morning at 10 on ABC 7. 7 on your side. One quick call is all it takes, and we'll fight back for you.
ABC 7 definitely helped us.
One quick call, and we'll save you money.
I don't have any concerns now.
7 on your side. Alerts, protects, investigates. Schools are closed here, but you live here. Sign up for text alerts for your school system only at WJLA.com/text and watch Good Morning Washington for winter traffic and weather updates. ABC 7 News, your school closings headquarters. Wheel of Fortune, weeknights at 7 on ABC 7.
Now here's a look at what's making news as we head into a new week on the money. A solid jobs report for the month of December, though hiring slowed down a bit. The economy created 156,000 new jobs last month, slightly below expectations. The unemployment rate edged up to 4.7% as more people re-entered the labor force, and wages increased by the greatest amount in more than 7 years, a sign of the tightening job market. The Nasdaq set a new record this week as stocks got off to a strong start in the new year. The Dow up triple digits on Tuesday, but fell later in the week with weakness in the financial sector. The markets continued to climb on Friday. U.S. auto sales reached a new high last year. 17.55 million vehicles were sold in America in 2016, a little bit higher than the previous record from 2015. And $900 million is a lot to pay for some tools, but maybe not too much when it comes to Sears' iconic Craftsman brand. Stanley Black & Decker is buying the name, but you'll still be able to get those tools at Sears stores. We're 2 weeks away from a new president. Since the election, markets have been on a big rally. With all this change, should you be changing the way you're saving for your retirement? Jim Polson is Chief Investment Strategist at Wells Capital Management. Thanks for joining us, Jim.
Thanks for having me, Kelly.
Let's just begin with the Dow 20,000 mark. Is it really a big deal, an important level?
Well, it's another, milestone that's a bit of a positive, but I don't think it's really nearly as important. I think the more fundamentals that are going on are much more important than breaking the 20,000 barrier. Hopefully we'll do it soon and move on to the next one.
Well, the Dow is up about 9% since the election. The Nasdaq did hit a new record this week. What do you think happens once President-elect Trump is President Trump?
Well, I think some of the excitement in the market certainly had to do with the Trump presidency and the change up at the top. But I think most of it, Kelly, had to do with really good improvement in the fundamentals here. We spent the better part of the last couple of years in the United States growing real GDP growth below 2%. And now that's popped up to over 3% in the third quarter and looking to do well in the fourth. You're seeing better growth abroad as well around more parts of the world. This recovery is broadening out, touching many different economies. Manufacturing, which has been in recession, has picked up in the last half of last year. And I just think a number of things are coming together, including the fact that we've kind of got a more pro-biz president promising less regulation and maybe lower corporate taxes, adding to the excitement.
And that's our key question here. Should you change your retirement savings plan for the new administration?
I won't know if I'd make big changes on the basis of a new administration, but I do think you might consider some changes based on where we are in this recovery. We're now back at full employment. The rest of this recovery is going to be more inflationary. It's going to probably be more upward trend of interest rates. It's going to be more the Fed is tightening rather than easing. I would maybe reduce my bond exposure a little bit and have a little bit more in equities here. I would maybe look in the equity market more away from the United States and international markets and emerging markets as opposed to here. I might even look at maybe adding a little real assets to your portfolio a little bit for the balance of this recovery.
Well, there are some ideas. Jim, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
Jim Polson joining us today. Up next, we're on the money. Is spending less and saving more one of your New Year's resolutions? A step-by-step plan to help you create a budget and stick to it. And later, if you're running on empty when it comes to getting in shape, this could be the right time of year to find a gym, and why you might want to think tech when you think fit.
Hey, Steve, check out this guy's leg.
Yeah, looks like a real nasty moving back in with his parents.
What? No, I just broke my leg.
No, this is a full-blown move into the basement. You're gonna be out of work. Without that money from Aflac, you might miss your rent.
Oh, I just moved out.
Bummer, man.
Hey, I used to have my own place.
Yeah?
Nah, I live with my mom. But it's cool.
Health can change, but the life you love doesn't have to. Keep your lifestyle healthy with
Aflac.
Just like the people who own them, every business is different. But every one of those businesses will need legal help as they age and grow. Whether it be help starting your business, vendor contracts, or employment agreements, LegalZoom's network of attorneys can help you every step of the way, so you can focus on what you do. We'll handle the legal stuff that comes up along the way. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
For months, the American media has been trying to make a Kremlin connection.
We point out things the American government would not like.
From Moscow, see how Russian media is portraying the American transition of power on the next Full Measure.
This morning at 10 on ABC7. When America stops, reflects, that change is constant, and America constantly changes. Our ABC7 News journalists reflect your story, reflect our community, reflect shared values. United we stand, to face constant change, to bring your story home, to always move forward. ABC7 News, on your side.
It's time to play.
Monday, the stars come out to play.
Which one of these looks did he rock during Super Bowl 45?
I don't know. I wasn't looking at his face. I was watching his performance and his sweep behind.
Big Fan. Monday, 10/9 Central on ABC.
You've waited long enough. Scandal is back.
Oh, my God.
In the first 10 minutes alone, you're not gonna know what hit you. Scandal returns Thursday, January 19th on ABC.
Yeah, I'm starting up my day, make it feel alright. Sun is on my side, and it's looking great. Good morning, Washington. Starting up, yeah. I'm starting up.
Good Morning Washington, where Good Morning started.
Kids, they're not a business, they're people. Treat them like that.
Hot bench.
Is getting your finances under control one of your goals for the new year? Building a better budget isn't just about saving more. It's also about spending less. And joining us now with a step-by-step plan on how to get control of your money is personal finance expert Farnoosh Torabi. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
What's considered to be the perfect pie when it comes to creating a budget?
So I would say start with housing. That's typically everyone's biggest expense, no more than 30%. And that includes your mortgage or your rent, and if you own utilities and your insurance and your real estate taxes. It's a lot to jam pack in, but it's very important to keep that kind of at that threshold because you have a lot more to spend on. And if you have debt, that's the next category we see a lot of people dedicating much of their budget to these days with student loans and credit cards. 15% is usually what I say is a good benchmark. And we'll talk later if you have more than that, what to do.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask. Let's get right to it. Because for a lot of people, whether it's student loans or credit cards, that's probably the main thing they're trying to figure out right now. How do you get that down?
So let's attack credit cards first. If you have credit cards that you're just having a tough time making those minimum payments every month, consider maybe transferring that balance over to a 0% APR credit card, which can earn you some interest relief for at least 12 to 15 months. And the good thing there is that, you know, you're not paying the interest, but you have to also be mindful of that 0% deadline. So try to pay it off within that time frame before the interest rate jumps back up. Maybe you need help. Maybe you need to work with a credit counselor, someone at the National Foundation for Credit Counseling, Money Management International, both really strong nonprofits. The first meeting is free. And then if you've got those student loans, remember, federal and private loans usually cannot be consolidated together. But if you have federal loans and they're really keeping you up at night, try to see if you can qualify for a federal program like income-based repayment.
Sure.
Pegs your payment to no more than 10 to 15% of your take-home pay. You want to also maybe look at private refinancing options for private loans. And then SoFi.com actually will let you combine those private and federal loans if you qualify, get a lower interest rate, reduce those monthly payments.
Great tips. What are some ways to just generally kind of find ways in your budget that you can, you know, lower the amount of money that you're spending and maybe free it up just to put towards these other things?
How do you find those leaks?
Yeah.
So I like my latte. I'm not giving up my latte. I do think that the big things also add up. So look at things like your routine car insurance, your home insurance, and negotiating routinely with these insurers may be able to save you a few $100 a year, maybe more, depending on, of course, your premiums. Look at where you're living. You know, can you maybe rent a room out or move or negotiate with your landlord, refinance your mortgage before rates jump up, who knows when. But then there are those small leaks. We have what I call spending inertia that builds up over time. We sign up for these subscriptions.
Oh, yeah.
The gym membership, the Netflixes of the world, and at the time we are all in. But then life changes, our pace changes, our time changes. So every few months revisit those sort of recurring automated expenses to make sure that they make sense, and if not, shut them off.
I think I'm going to have to do some reviewing of my own.
Yeah.
Farnoosh, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Farnoosh Torabi. Up next, if you want to get physically fit and not just fiscally fit, we've got the hottest new trends in gyms. Think big and think small. The holidays may be over, but there are still sales to be had. We'll also have the best bargains you can get in January.
You got those eyes staring into my soul.
After becoming one of the largest broadband companies in the country, after expanding our fiber network coast to coast, these are the places we call home. We are CenturyLink. We believe in the power of the digital world, the power to connect, and that's what drives us every day.
That was really good.
CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
I thought I was managing my moderate to severe Crohn's disease. I didn't think there was anything else to talk about. But then I realized there was. So I finally broke the silence with my doctor about what I was experiencing. He said Humira is for people like me who've tried other medications but still experience the symptoms of moderate to severe Crohn's disease. In clinical studies, the majority of patients on Humira saw significant symptom relief, and many achieved remission.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
If you're still just managing your symptoms, talk with your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, remission is possible.
Find your happy place. For $1 down and then $10 a month, the judgment-free zone is where you belong. $1 down and then $10 a month. No commitment. $1 down and then $10 a month. Offer ends January 11th. Because everyone can use a little love. The world judges. We don't. Join now in club or online at planetfitness.com. Offer ends January 11th. Planet Fitness. Be free.
When winter weather is at its worst, Stormwatch 7 is at its best.
Alerting, preparing, and protecting you.
You definitely do not want to go outside.
With accurate weather coverage when storms hit.
Because keeping you safe and connected with Stormwatch 7,
whether it's here,
or here, keeps you alert and ready.
Alerts, prepares, protects. Stormwatch 7, on your side when it matters most. Stormwatch 7 meteorologist Steve Rudin, on your side.
For more on our show and our guests, go to our website, otm.cnbc.com, and you can follow us on Twitter @OnTheMoney. Now, here are the stories coming up that may impact your money this week. On Monday, the North American International Auto Show kicks off in Detroit. It also marks the 10th anniversary of the iPhone. Yes, it was 10 years ago that Steve Jobs officially introduced Apple to the cell phone world. On Tuesday, President Obama will make his farewell address from his hometown of Chicago. On Wednesday, we'll hear from President-elect Trump, who is scheduled to hold his first news conference since the election. And on Friday, we'll also get a look at how retailers did last month with the retail sales numbers. And if you're worried you missed out on great deals from Black Friday and the holidays, don't fret. There are still deals to be had in January. Joining us now to tell us about the best bargains right now is retail expert Trey Bodge. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Let's begin with the best bargain consumers can find this month.
I would say white sales. They've been going on surprisingly since the 1800s, and so stores are really offering great deals on things like towels, beddings, and other related items. Stores like Kohl's, Wayfair, Macy's, Overstock will be having really deep discounts, and actually cashback site Splendor.com is increasing cashback offerings on those stores, so you can save even more. So that's a great tip for extra savings.
Wow. We also know fitness resolutions, those kinds of things to look and feel good, are huge come January. Are the retailers jumping on that trend?
Absolutely. So if you think anything in the new year, new you category, like fitness equipment, fitness apparel, sneakers, and then beauty products as well. So you'll find deals at Dick's and Bowflex, and then for beauty, places like Ulta or Nordstrom, Sephora, looking at 40% off or more. Wow. So really strong deals there.
Okay, that's good to know. Now electronics. We know we see the huge deals for these on Black Friday and then during the holidays, but if you missed out, can you still get a good deal now?
Up until the Super Bowl, you can, especially on those HD TVs. We're seeing discounts at places like Walmart, Best Buy, Newegg. Look for very deep discounts there, especially in some of the newer technologies. So great day to save right now through Super Bowl, but after the Super Bowl, you may want to hold off on buying a new TV for a while.
The Super Bowl helps define that season. Makes a lot of sense. Just real quickly, the iPhone came out, the iPhone 7. It doesn't have that traditional headphone jack. So are these wireless headphones becoming more popular?
Definitely becoming more popular, and also a necessity with that new iPhone. Because the Consumer Electronics Show is right now, you may not find great deals. The newer items will be coming out, say, February and March, and that's when you'll be able to get great deals on wireless headphones, maybe the earlier iteration of a certain model. So that's when you can save a little bit better there.
Well, we'll wait till then. So we buy the headphones after the Super Bowl.
I would say so, yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Trey Bodge. As we just mentioned, this might be a good time to look for bargains at the gym. When you go, there's a lot to choose from. Boutique fitness studios are all the rage these days, but big gyms and fitness chains are also fighting back. Diana Olick takes us inside a few of the newest and fastest growing fitness franchises that are giving boutiques a run for the money.
We got $3 to spend on the
Helene Reeves started working out at Orange Theory Fitness last fall, and she is hooked.
It's very user-friendly.
Hooked on the results and the technology that tracks them.
I'm very competitive, so you think that you're going to compete with others, but you're really just you and yourself, which I think is what moves you a little bit quicker.
The theory behind Orange Theory is heart rate. Monitors track your levels as trainers drive you from the orange zone to red and back to orange again. The Orange technology and marketing, says CEO David Long, are a winning mix.
So you've got interval training, which burns more calories. You've got all the functional training mixed in. We mixed in rowing for a power effect in the body. And then the technology piece supports that.
We are lowering that heart rate. Long credits the technology with the company's exponential growth. In just 6 years, Orange Theory has sold over 1,000 franchise licenses and boasts 570 studios in 41 states and 9 countries.
We'll be growing in 20 international markets, every state in the U.S., and we'll probably break 900 locations by the end of 17.
Let's go, team.
Orange Theory is a class, not a full gym, but it's less expensive than most boutique classes, about $160 per month unlimited. That'll only get you 5 sessions at SoulCycle. Boutique and tech are the hooks, and even super discount gyms are buying in.
We've got some really cool features, one including our cardio cinema. It's called the Choose Cinema.
Choose Fitness opened in California in 2008 and is now in Arizona and Colorado. It's growing far more slowly than Orange Theory, but embracing the same boutique feel at just $10 a month.
We've been able to build in the boutique fitness model within our big box and within our price point. We have Zumba, yoga, kickboxing, Pilates, even bar at some of our locations.
They even offer a hydro massage relaxation station.
There's no question, whatever you're looking for, big or small, cheap or boutique, the fitness industry is more than ready to give it to you. But the competition is fierce and high tech is driving demand. Kelly?
And we know you could take on those rowers there, Diana, but do you know what kind of revenue growth these firms are experiencing?
Well, Orange Theory told us that their revenue growth is up over 130% in 2016, and given the growth there, you can expect that to exceed that this year. It's amazing, really, how fast they're growing.
Wow. All right, Diana, thank you. Our Diana Olick. And that's the show for today. I'm Kelly Evans. Becky will be back next week. Thank you so much for joining us. And also next week, how IKEA has assembled a successful global business. Each week, keep it right here. We are on the money. Have a great one, and we'll see you next weekend.
Rachel Ray, Monday at 10 on ABC 7.
When something's wrong with your car, it's tough to know which parts to blame. So take your car to someone who's trained to fix and replace virtually